Hi everyone, this is Matthew from Typito. So in this video, I'll be talking about a very specific type of church video, that is sermon highlight video. Now we'll be covering what a sermon highlight video is, why is it created, and how to create it using Typito. So first and foremost, a sermon highlight video is basically a snippet or a short video from a pastor's sermon. A pastor's sermon can be anywhere between maybe 15 to 25 minutes or even 45 minutes, as we know. And a short clip from that, which independently carries a message from the pastor, is what the content of a sermon highlight video would look like. Now, these are usually repurposed from the video recording of a pastor's sermon. So, if you have the capability to record the live streaming which is happening on your church, that video would act as a precursor to creating a sermon highlight video. Now, what are the purposes of creating a sermon highlight video? First and foremost, it helps with improving the engagement with the congregation on social media. Now, with the attention span going really shorter and shorter with time, it really helps to engage with your congregation with shorter videos compared to a longer video that is what a pastor's sermon would usually look like. Now, the second point is delivering the message through easy to consume short videos. That is, these short videos can carry independent messages from the pastor's sermon, which in itself would be a lot of value addition for the members. Third is that it also acts as a great introduction to the sermon video. So think of it like a trailer or a teaser to a longer version of a video. So these small versions of the video, that is a sermon highlight video, when watched, is likely to arouse interest in the members, who will want to then go and watch the longer version, that is the actual pastor's sermon. Now, what are the characteristics of some of the characteristics of these videos? One is that it's usually less than a minute in duration. Anywhere between 30 seconds to 60 seconds would do. It's also usually a square video with titles and captions. Square video because these are videos mostly uploaded on social media, and it's also consumed mostly on smartphones. So it helps to have the video have the aspect ratio of 1:1, that is square, or 2:3, which is mobile. Now, title and captions help in helping the audience retain the content better, especially if they want to watch it in mute mode, etc. So in this video, we'll be covering how to create these videos, that is sermon highlight videos, for social media and other platforms, optimized for brand compliance and engagement with the help of logo, title, and captions. Now keep in mind that these videos are not just distributed on social media. You can also distribute it on any messaging platform which is usually used by a church. For example, it could be a WhatsApp group or anything similar. Now, to demonstrate how to create a sermon highlight video, I have to pick an example, and I have found this beautiful sermon by pastor, teacher, and speaker Dr. Tony Evans. So the sermon goes by the title, The Secret to Powerful Prayer, and it's a 30-minute video. So I'll be using this video to explain how to create a sermon highlight video out of a pastor's video. Now, I want to make it very clear that this video and the property completely belongs to Pastor Dr. Tony Evans, and I'm just using this video for the demonstration purpose of how to create a sermon highlight video. So what I've done is I have uploaded this video on Typito. So you can see the edit screen with the video ready. So as you can see, it's the same video, that is 30-minute, 46 seconds. And I've also called it the anatomy of the Lord's Prayer. And the reason why I've named it like that is because that is precisely what the sermon highlight video which we are creating would have, the content. So at around 3 minutes in this video, Pastor Dr. Tony Evans gives you this beautiful understanding or a perspective of how the Lord's Prayer is structured. So we'll go to that, and that's what we will be creating as a pastor's sermon highlight video. So I'll go to
trespasses. And he would never need to be forgiven. So it's really not his prayer to pray, it's him teaching us how to pray. Now, the Lord's Prayer is divided into a very simple flow.
So as you can see, the pastor is now starting to explain how the Lord's Prayer is divided. So that is the part we want. So what we'll do is,
Now, the pray.
so this is where it starts, right? So I'm going to cut it here. And this is a part which we don't need.
Now, the Lord's Prayer is divided into a very simple flow. Two halves, if you will. The first half is concerned with God. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. It's about thy or you. The second half is about us. Our daily bread. Our trespasses. Lead us not into temptation. So the first half is all about God. The second half is about you. And then, of course, he closes it with prayer about God again. Thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. So it's God, us, God. What leads Jesus?
So that's where that particular message stops, the anatomy of the Lord's Prayer, right? So I'm going to go back a little bit and cut it where I want it.
Us, God. And so it's God, us, God.
So that's where it ends. So I'm going to cut it here because this is the video which we need. And I'm going to remove the remaining part because that's not going to be used in the sermon highlight video. So yeah, so we got a 44-second sermon highlight video here, which is perfect, right? And now, like I said, this is for social media and for other platforms where the video is watched on a smartphone predominantly. So we got to make it square. So I go here and then I can choose the square letterbox option. I'll tell you why I'm choosing that. So here you can see the letterboxes on the top and the bottom, and I have used this color because it kind of goes really well with the dress that the coat that the pastor is wearing, and you can always change it the way you want it. So let me make it a little more darker, probably. Yeah, and yeah. So now that I've chosen the format of video that I need to be adding the title and the captions and the logo. So the logo, I found it on the website. So this is a logo which is used by Pastor. So I'll be taking this and adding it as a over here. Logo is also a great way to add a watermark on your video so that, you know, even if it gets distributed across, you can always it gives you the idea of whom the video belongs to. So I've just added it here. In fact, I can add it here as well, but I have other plans for this letterbox areas. That's the reason why I've added it here. If you have a better logo which goes great with a darker background, here it's actually not so dark, but you can always choose a version of the logo which works really well. Any PNG with a transparent background works well. So, and I've added it from the start to the end, and I'm gonna make it non-animation so that it'll show up from the first frame till the last frame. Now that I've done that, I'm gonna add the title to the video. So I'm gonna use simple text for that. So I'm gonna first add the text I need. So that is anatomy of the Lord's Prayer. And yeah, this is what I need. And I'm going to position it to the center. I don't need the, I'm going to first make it black and then remove the shadow. So this works pretty well. So if you want, you can always go with probably some other font which is much more, which makes your video much more brand compliant. If you use a specific font, you can always go with that. Probably this is one font we can try. You can also make sure that the line height is probably optimized a little bit so it looks nice. Yeah, I think we are good with this. Now, okay, of course, I need to keep it spread out throughout the video. That's very important so that whoever is watching understands that, okay, hey, this video is basically about the anatomy of the Lord's Prayer. Of course, the title here is something which I came up with. I'm sure you can always come up with a really good title for the sermon highlight video you create. Now, the last and the final step, which is also a very important step, is to basically add the captions. So you go to captions and you can pick any specific style you want, right? So, let me look at the other styles we have here. So I could probably go with, let's say, this style here. And I could keep it at the bottom. I can reduce the font size. It's probably a little bigger for the requirement that we have. Maybe make it 24 or 28. Yeah, 28 looks fine. And I can also change the colors. So currently the background color is black. Do I want it like that? I can keep it, or else I can even, just change the background color to the actual letterbox background we have. That's up to us. Let me see if I want to change the font. So do you want to look at maybe the same Lilita one font which we have used for the title? We could try that, right? And yeah, do you want to change something else? You can always change if you think, hey, you want to have, if you want the text to have a kind of background highlight, you can always use a color. How is this green looking like? For this particular video, I would prefer to keep it the same as the background here. And now I go to next, add content. So this is the best part, right? Where we basically use the voice to text option and we auto-generate it based on the pastor speaking, the voice or the audio of the pastor speaking. So we wait for that to get over, for the auto-generation to quickly happen. Awesome. So our captions are also ready. So let's just quickly see.
Now, the Lord's Prayer is divided into a very simple flow, two halves, if you will. The first half is concerned with God.
So as you can see, it has kind of captured the entire thing, probably with like, let's say 95 to 98% accuracy. So you can always go ahead and make some subtle changes. For example, now the Lord's Prayer is divided into a very simple flow. You can probably have a full stop here and you could, have a better new line starting at divided maybe. And
now the Lord's Prayer is divided into a very simple flow, two halves, if you will.
Again, I showed you how to edit the text here on the left side, but you can also do it here. So let me just start as two halves, if you will. The first half is concerned with God. So I can even take it back down to the next line. So I do that.
The first half is concerned with God. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
Yes. So again, we are referring to God here. So it helps to have the capitalization or T to be capital. Thy kingdom come. Etc. Right? So yeah, now the entire video will have all the captions which have been added, and you can always go ahead and change the duration as well. If you think something has to be starting a little early, or something is supposed to stop a little earlier, you can always make those modifications. Uh, but I hope you got an idea about how a sermon highlight video can be created very easily from the already existing sermon video, which is a, let's say, a longer video. And yeah, that's about it. Do try creating a sermon highlight video, publish it on social media, publish it on all your social media channels like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. See how the engagement is. These videos are supposed to drive much, much better engagement for your sermon videos. A message which the pastor has kind of, uh, you know, articulated really well. It's all about finding those small nuggets, or uh, like small, like important gems of messages from the entire pastor's sermon video, and keep creating them as smaller sermon highlight videos. And also, yeah, do share it on other communication channels which you use in your church. You can also upload it on YouTube. That's not a problem. You can always also upload it on YouTube and other platforms. But do try creating uh, a sermon highlight video and see how it works out. I hope this video is helpful. Do let us know uh, if there are any other videos you would want us to cover on how to create those videos for you know for creating your church video assets online and making it easy for you to engage with your audience. Thank you.